What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Mika Chanel, back with another edition of Mika Chanel is Just Saying. All right, it's time for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 6, Episode number 16. I think we're getting close to the end, you guys. What do you think about this episode? It's pretty slow, but it's pretty typical of the way that the Beverly Hills episodes go. Before I go any further, please subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, all right? Anyway, so let's get into the episode. It starts off with Catherine. She goes back to the ear doctor because remember in the last episode we saw she had went to the doctor and he told her that there was this device that she could put in her ear, the one that she's completely deaf in, and it would like take sound from that ear to the other ear. And so she goes back to get the device put in. She gets the device put in and like immediately she's able to hear better. And so she sheds a few tears or whatever. And she's just like so happy about it. And I mean, wouldn't you be, And so she tells the doctor, she's like, oh my God, I think I've been like screaming at people for the last like whatever years. And she says that she, understands what people were saying about her at the dinner party the other night because she's like, oh my God, maybe I really was yelling because, I didn't hear myself and now I can hear myself very clear and it sounds like I'm talking a little too loud. So she decides that she owes Erica an apology. And I'm like, okay, well, I think you kind of do. You were a little over the top at the dinner, but whatever. Anyways, in the next scene, we see the women, they head over to Eileen's house. I think it was everyone. Yeah, I think it was everyone that came out. I mean, not Eileen's house. They head over to Camille's house because Camille is having an event, a charity event for cancer. And a cancer charity event, and her mother was diagnosed with cancer. I think that was like her first season on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then if I'm not mistaken, I think Camille was also diagnosed with cancer like a few years ago or something like that. So she's throwing an event for it to raise money. It's like a shopping event. They have jewelry. Now this jewelry, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be some Leo Sophia or something like that. No, this jewelry is like $75,000, $125,000. You know what I mean? Like some jewelry that I probably will not ever buy in my life, but at least not right now. Maybe one day, but not right now. But yeah, so they seem to, the event seems to be really nice, and Yolanda comes and she shows off her new haircut. Now I really think the haircut looks really good on her. I think it's actually the best her hair has looked in all of the seasons that she's been on this show. And then for some reason, well, no, before I get to that, let's talk about Kyle and Mauricio. Mauricio shows up to the party. He's always late. He's always working or whatever. But he gets to the party. Kyle's like, oh my God, my husband's here. And he just gives her like this big old kiss. I just really, really love to see their love. They really seem genuine with each other. They really seem to really be into each other. And it's just really nice to see because you really don't get that a lot with the Housewives. You don't get all of that, just genuine love for each other. I don't really get that just out of all of the franchises, I really don't see that often, so it's good to see. Anyway, so they go ahead and sit down and eating the little snacks that Camille has out there or whatever. And so Yolanda looks over at Lisa Rinna and she's like, it looks like something's bothering you. Are you okay? She says, she's been able to really read people a lot better since she's been sick and kind of isolated. And so Lisa's like, I just feel a little sad because I saw a picture with you that you took. You went to lunch with Brandy and Kim on the day of Erica's party. And it just really made me feel sad. And Yolanda's like, well, why would that make you feel sad? Yolanda's like, at the end of the day, Kim and Brandy have been here for me more since I've been sick than any of you have put together. And they're really good friends of mine. And Kim's birthday was a couple of weeks had passed. And, I had already made a commitment to go on this lunch. And she's just like, and I didn't post the picture. I guess Brandy posted the picture. And Lisa's like, well, it said like hashtag real friends and all this. And Yolanda's like, but I didn't post a picture. You're getting upset with me about a picture that I didn't post. So then, of course, Eileen jumps in, and Eileen is like, well, it's not about the picture. And before Eileen can finish, Lisa Rinna cuts her off again. And they're just going on and on and on and on. And Yolanda is just like, you know what? If anything, it's between Erica and I. It's really none of your business. What happened. And I'm just like sitting there like, Yolanda's right. It's Lisa. I don't understand why Lisa is so bothered by this. It's not like it was an event at her house that Yolanda skipped out on. It was an event at Erica's house. So if anyone should be upset, it should be Erica. And Erica doesn't seem to be upset, but at the same time, I don't know. I think she may have been a little bothered, honestly. I do think she may have been a little bothered, but I don't think she is bothered enough to actually, discuss it in front of everyone, I just don't understand why Lisa Rinna and Eileen would let something like that really like get to them or whatever. So they decide to move on. And then in the next scene, I guess it's the next night or a couple nights later, you see Mauricio. He invites some of the women out. Well, I guess he invited everyone, but not everyone could come. So it was Lisa Vanderpump, Lisa Rinna, Eileen, Kathleen, and of course Kyle. And what's his name? I can't think of what the fuck? Ken. I'm like, I don't know why I couldn't think of Ken's name. So anyway, so they all come. Erica can't make it. The other ladies can't make it. And, Yolanda, of course, can't make it. And so anyway, so it was basically a thank you from Mauricio for them helping him out with I think it was Habitat for Humanity. I think that was the organization they were using where they, remember last episode when they were rehabbing the house or whatever. So he just wanted to give them a big thank you. And then Kyle decided that, she wanted to put together a trip. And I guess Mauricio helped her put it together, a ladies trip to Dubai. And I'm like, okay, now I ain't even mad. I am not mad at all. Not at all. Okay. So they all are like, yes, I really want to go. It'll be great to go. And, later on in the episode, you see her ask Yolanda. Yolanda, of course, says she doesn't want to go because she's a little too sick. But everybody else is on board. So anyway, so while they're at this dinner that Mauricio had put together, somehow, I'm trying to remember, how did it come up? Eileen says to Lisa Vanderpump, she's just like, I know that Lisa Rinna told you that about the comment that I made about you being manipulative, and so I just want to talk about it. And Lisa Vanderpump is just like, yeah, I just don't understand where that's coming from. And Eileen is just saying, like, I just feel like you can be, very manipulative. And I don't think that it's anything new. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that people have been saying this forever about you. And Yolanda, Lisa Vanderpump is just still like, she's like, I don't really understand where you're coming from. And then Lisa Rinna jumps in and she's like, just like the time when we were, I don't remember where they were. If they weren't in Paris, I don't think. I can't remember where they were when Lisa Rinna and Kim Richards got into that fight, and like Kim almost got a glass busted upside her head. Yeah, so I guess there was a scene, and I remembered it once they showed the flashback of it where, Lisa Vanderpump wanted everyone to go shopping, and it was kind of like she wanted to bring everyone together. So Lisa Rinna went ahead and went along with it. So they bring that up, and they're like, just like then, and da-da-da. And I'm sitting there like, well, Lisa Rinna, if you didn't want to go shopping with them, then why did you go shopping with them? And so Lisa Vanderpump is like, really? That's manipulative? And Rinna is just like, no, you just have a power to influence me, to do certain things. And she's like, just like with the whole bipolar thing. No, then Eileen was like, just like with the whole bipolar thing. And then before they can get to the bipolar thing, LVP is like, did I influence you to tell Kim that you loved her? Like, I don't really know what's going on. And so Eileen is, and then they kind of go back and forth about that. And then Eileen's like, look, let's not digress off of the subject. Let's stick to the subject. Just like when you wanted to kind of force Lisa Rinna to have an issue with Yolanda for Yolanda calling her bipolar. You were texting her and saying like, yeah, are you sure you're not that bothered by it or whatever? And LVP is just like, I never texted you and said anything. We can read the text or whatever. And Rinna's just like, well, no, you didn't text me, but you called me and you kept asking me over and over again, are you sure you're not bothered by it? Are you sure you're not bothered by it? As if I was supposed to be bothered by it. And then Kyle jumps in, and Kyle's like, the thing about it is that she's strong, talking about LVP. She's like, I'm a strong person. She's a strong person. I think she was talking about Catherine and Eileen. It was like, and I feel like you, Lisa Rinna, you're a follower. And I'm like, shit. Oh, shit. the episode just got real, okay? And so Lisa Rinna is like, no, that's not it at all. I'm a people pleaser, and I just want everyone to be happy. And, I just go along with things because I want everybody to be happy. And I'm just like, well, that's kind of like a follower. It's one thing to be like a go with the flow type person, but it's another thing to go with the flow and then later complain about how it just really wasn't something that you wanted to do, or, you just felt pressured into doing it. Those are two different types of things. Like you can be easygoing and it's fine and you're okay with being easygoing, or you can pretend to be easygoing because you don't want to rock the boat, but then later to your good girlfriend, you tell her like, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, and just make it seem like it's such a big deal. At the end of the day, I just think that Eileen and Lisa Rinna are just very, very dramatic. I don't understand why they're so dramatic. I mean, I guess it's because they come from the soap world. I don't know, but they are just very dramatic and overly sensitive about things. And Lisa Rinna is especially sensitive about things that may not have anything to do with her. Like, with her getting so bothered by the whole picture with Yolanda and Brandy and Kim. Like, I mean, I can see you being a little annoyed by it because you're like, whatever. She's talking about she's sick and she didn't come to the party, but she was hanging out earlier or whatever. But I don't understand why it would make you sad and to where you're, you can't enjoy yourself around Yolanda because you feel some type of way. I'm like, that was kind of silly. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of how the conversation went. And then they just, somebody made a joke. I can't remember. I think it might have been Catherine. Oh yeah, Catherine was like, man, it's time for me to turn this hearing aid off, or whatever. And they made a joke, and then that was the end of the scene. So then in the next day, you see that it is time for Lisa Vanderpump's, her march that she's doing is called a End Yulin March. Yulin. And I guess Yulin is a tradition somewhere in Asia. I didn't catch exactly where. But somewhere in Asia, there's a tradition where I don't remember how often it comes around, but they they march and they basically are sacrificing dogs. They kill them and then they eat them. And so Lisa, being the advocate for dogs that she is, she's just like, that's not right. So she had organized a protest for this. So the only thing I really want to talk about in this scene is that she's got all these people, they're walking, to get ready to go in front of the Asian consulate, I think is what it's called, or something like that. And instead of ending up in front of there, they ended up in front of a church, the community church. And they're out there, stop Yulin today. No more Yulin. Like, they protesting. They so loud. They got bullhorns and stuff. And then eventually they realized, somebody was like, it's down the street, 2 blocks down the street on the left. Like, we're in the wrong spot. So then they carry on, go on to the regular spot, and they continue on with the protest. But I thought that shit was hilarious. I'm like, girl, yeah, I mean, if you're going to protest something, at least know the address. And they had police escorts and stuff. I'm like, didn't the police tell y'all were in the wrong spot? I thought that was hilarious. Anyways, then in the next scene, you see all the ladies are going to New York. Remember, I don't know if I talked about it, but Yolanda had invited everyone to come to New York because she's getting an award as ambassador for Lyme disease or something like that. They're holding a charity event or something like that. So they all get on Erica and Tom's private plane. That private plane is everything, okay? It is everything. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, you don't have to wait in line. You just get right on. You know exactly what time the plane's gonna leave. You get on. As soon as you're on there, the plane takes off. You don't have to be worried about it. You can smoke your cigar if you want to. Have some cocktails. Just have a good time on the plane. That's what the fuck I'm talking about, okay? That is living. That is living, okay? I mean, I love my life and everything, but, hey, that's living. If you can just get on, call up the pilot, hey, I'm ready to go. can you get the airspace cleared? Because it's time to go. You know what I mean? That's everything to me. That's everything. Anyways, so they all get on the plane. Catherine, sees Tom. She kind of gives Tom a little apology or whatever. She feels really bad. She's probably embarrassed. I think more so than her hearing. I think she was just drunk. I think she just had a few too many cocktails, and she was just drunk, and she was on her high horse, and she wanted to be heard, and that is what it is. So I think that with her getting this hearing aid, it just seems like she's a little more humbled this episode. She's not being like in everybody's face, forcing her opinions on people or anything like that. So I just feel like she may have humbled herself a little bit, and maybe being able to hear a little better has helped all of that. I'm not sure, but something is different. While the ladies are flying to New York, Eileen and Lisa Rinna go luggage shopping, and Eileen is like, she feels like she needs to step up her luggage game and her bag game because of the conversation that she and Erica had. Remember when Erica was Catherine was talking about her bags. I mean, that was a really bad bag though that she had that day. It wasn't even leather. But anyway, so she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go spend $2,000 or a few $1,000s on bags because I have low self-esteem. Or whatever. And so, but anyway, so while they're at the luggage shop, Eileen basically confronts Lisa, and she's like, you tell me all of these things when we're alone, but then when we get around everyone else, you don't really speak your mind. And in her interview, she says that she feels like Rinna is all bark and no bite. And I'm like, well, that's kind of how people pleasers are. They talk a lot of shit around people that they feel safe around, but when they get around the people that they're talking mess about, they don't really feel like they can defend themselves. You know what I mean? And so they don't bring anything up. And that's kind of how I think of Lisa Rinna. And but like I said, Eileen and Lisa are just so fucking dramatic about every goddamn thing. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so we see the ladies. They're in New York. They are at, what is it called? The Jewel Suite. I mean, you walk in and there's like $1 million jewels in this room, but they're decorations. Like, you can't buy them. It's not like you say, oh, I want that one. Can you get it out the glass? No, they're there for decorations. And I'm just like, this Beverly Hills life. I mean, just give me a little taste of the Beverly Hills life. Just a little taste of the Beverly Hills life. Oh my God. Oh, like me and my husband took a trip to LA, and we actually stayed at the Sofitel in Beverly Hills. And, that was when I felt like I was living my, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills moment. I was so excited, and the hotel was nice, and we were right by the Beverly Center, and, all of that stuff. So I was like, but, that only lasted, Thursday to Sunday. Then I had to come home to reality. Anyway, so they are there. Nothing really going on. Yolanda and David give each other toast as usual. Yolanda's like, she toasts to him being such a great man, and basically says that, she's sorry that she's been ill the last few years, but she promises that she's going to make it up to him. David kind of looks like, well, whatever. And then we hear him talking to some other man. We don't actually see them talking. We just kind of overhear with their conversation. Saying, the guy was just like, hopefully you guys can get back to your regular life. And David's like, yeah, I don't know about all that, just not really sounding that hopeful. So I guess, we're watching their marriage decline pretty much on this season. And that's probably why Yolanda's being such a bitch. Not because of her illness, but because she's got probably one thing is her illness, and she's, frustrated with her illness because she knows that it's hurting her marriage. And that's just my opinion on that. That's how I feel. I don't know. And then, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the end of the episode. Next week, we're going to see Yolanda actually accepting her award and giving her speech and everything. And then we see the ladies go to Dubai next week, which I'm looking forward to that trip. Anyways, yeah, so that is all. I mean, this episode, I don't know, I probably sound a little bored because I'm very, very sleepy. And the episode was pretty slow, but, it's still worth talking about because I love my Beverly Hills ladies. I just really love them. I mean, even if they don't have any action going on, I just watch just to see their houses and the trips that they go on, Like I said a million times before, y'all probably tired of hearing me say that. Anyway, so that's all I have for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 6, Episode number 16. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Leave all your comments down below. Again, please subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Please leave some comments. I like to hear good comments, but I mean, whatever you want to leave, as long as it's not mean spirited, then go ahead, knock yourself out. Anyways, you guys, have a good night, and until next time, please stay real, stay safe, and stay tuned to Mika Chanel is just saying. Bye bye.